said, among other things, that there is no such thing as women's rights. You know, because so many times we hear that we should fight, you know, for women's rights. I think not intentionally, not that we say the statement intentionally, but maybe it might be an oversight. And this is the reason I'm saying that. If we're having human's rights, that definitely encompasses women and men. Because as a collective, we are human beings. So what is good for men is also good for women. Not to now unpack it and say, let's fight for women's rights. If we're fighting for human's rights, women and men are included in that. And in the book, I talked about South Africa's goal towards achieving gender equality, that this is guided by human rights, which incorporates acceptance of equal and inalienable rights of all women and men. This ideal is a foundational tenet under the Bill of Rights of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa Act 1996. This is now the paper, like this is something that is stipulated, you know, in the paper. This is something that, you know, for our constitution we use, and the framework is coming, you know, as I've just mentioned, that is something that is in the Bill of Rights of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, fighting for human rights, which incorporates men and women. Now, the gender policy framework establishes guidelines for South Africa as a nation to take action to remedy the historical legacy by defining new terms of reference for interacting with each other in both the private and public spheres, and by proposing and recommending an institutional framework that facilitates equal access to goods and services for both women and men. No manner of bureaucratic legislation, however, will affect the positive change we so sorely need to manifest unless the ordinary citizens, the fathers, the brothers, the husbands, the friends, the pedagogues, the business owners, and the clergy act upon these changes in good faith, that in doing so, the world can only be a better place. Men and women need each other, like salt and pepper. Our differences complement each other, making the dish of life all the more tasty. So the point I was driving home here is, as beautiful as our constitution can be, as beautiful as the framework of the gender policy can be, at the end of the day, it's us, you know, who have to do the groundwork, who have to actually implement these policies. Not only women, not only men, but the collective, not only people that are working, not only people that are not working, businesswomen, but if all of us can come together and find tangible ways, practical ways on how we can fight this, on how we can move now the paperwork to the implementation stage, and in terms of the vigorousness of that activity, that is a necessity. And in this chapter that I was mentioning this, I closed the chapter by actually quoting what J.F. Kennedy once said. In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. We shouldn't shrink. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I